What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Insights into a Soul. It's been a while, guys, and I apologize. Life's been crazy, man. Going through a crazy season. Just busy. Not bad, just busy. Lots of stuff going on with work and personal life. We're coming up here. It's been over a year now since the separation started. And October, November, December, 13 for 15 months now? Something like that. Lots happened. Lots been going on. So, I need to get back to this. I need to get back to this personal therapy. Because like I've said in the past, I started Insights into a Soul as therapy for myself, and if it helps other people in the process, awesome. And it has, I've gotten feedback and comments, and it's helped people, and that just warms my heart, that it does that. But that's not my intention. That wasn't why I started it. I think that's the motivator to keep going. But it's been a while, and I've received messages, and then the other day, one of my friends I've known for a while posted about the podcast, encouraging people to go listen to it, and it just kind of re-inspired me why I do this and why I need to continue to do it. And I need to be persistent, consistent, whatever you want to call it, but I need to push forward and do it. And I thought, what better time to do it than now? I've been going through a lot of ups and downs mentally. I get these downs that just happen, man, and I can't explain them. Part of it, I think, is COVID. Been isolated for so freaking long. Got a little interaction with work, which is great, but you don't realize how much of a toll it takes on you. And my sleep schedule's been borked all to crap, man. I've been very few nights that I can recall lately where I've been asleep before 4 a.m. and then I'm up at 7:30 for work. It's just a lot on my mind, thinking about the future, processing where I am now, where I've come from, because there's a lot of things I want to pursue and I want to do, and just figuring out actually being able to do them and pursue them. Whether it's things like this, my streaming is taking off, pushing myself to stream and make content, and, the difference between hustle and grind, and learning when you need to slow the grind a little bit for personal health, which is a whole nother podcast that's going to be coming. But today, I just wanted to talk about healing, because I had a breakthrough today. A major relationship breakthrough with my ex. As I said in the past, we separated. We're on good terms still. We talk, not regularly, but we talk often. I think more so lately now than we used to. We've got kids together, so we're communicating about them. We've had some really good conversations lately, and today I called her just talking about our daughter's birthday, which is coming up, our youngest daughter, and we're just talking about presents and stuff, and we somehow shifted the conversation about us. And I think it was to do with some things that are happening in my life right now. And, I'm an empath. I'm an empath to an extreme, and it's a problem sometimes. It's something I've worked on adapting to and curbing over the years. You got to set healthy boundaries, and that's something I've really been working on, is learning how to set healthy boundaries, which will be another episode. Look at that, 2 episode topics already thought up in the first 4 minutes of the podcast, the stream. I almost said stream because I'm Twitch streaming now, but of the podcast. I think I might start doing some of these live on Twitch, which could be fun. Do some interactive podcasts. So we had this conversation today, and it dealt with me being an empath, and her. She's an empath as well. She's a different type of empath because she's the one who doesn't want to be around people a lot. She likes people, but she doesn't like people. She doesn't really care for the interaction and all that stuff. She's a lone wolf type thing, which is fine. I'm the empath that wants to be around people. I need constant connection and relationships. So we both realize that we fed off of so many people around us, the negativity, because as an empath, you're constantly giving and giving and giving and giving of yourself. And oftentimes I'm guilty of this. I don't recharge. We're just constantly giving away. And then at the end of the day, there's nothing left for yourself to have. You've given all of yourself away. And if you continue to do that for days and days and days on end, then it gets very negative for you. It's bad. You get in your head because you get down and depressed because nobody's pouring into you. And so we realize that in our marriage, we were both empaths, and we never learned how to deal with that. We were giving all day long to people. People were taking from us all day long. And then when we got home, we had nothing left to give to each other. Or we were absorbing one another and not recharging and dealing with and pouring into ourselves. So it just became a toxic environment in our marriage over the years. And again, it's nothing, nobody was a bad person or anything like that. I always want to stress that. But we just didn't learn how to deal with it, how to deal with that, how to deal with draining relationships and then, not properly working through and talking through things in our relationship and then being drained and having nothing left to give. You give so much to everyone else that you have nothing left to give to your spouse, and that is the breakdown of so many marriages that I've seen. You're just not on the same page. You don't learn how to communicate and talk. And so, I even asked him, do you think that if we had gotten the right help earlier on, we'd still be together? And obviously it's a theoretical question. The answer is, I don't know, which is a sound answer. But I do believe that if we'd gotten the proper help when we were engaged, when we started dating and talking about marriage 13 years ago, if we had gotten the help we needed, whether it be a counselor or something like that, I think, we could still be together. But the reality is we're not, and that's okay. The more I go on, the more it's like, I'm okay with where I'm at. The relationship ended, the chapter is closed, and that's fine. And I think that's part of the healing process. It's not regretful of what happened, not sad about what happened. I was struggling the other week because we had dinner. She came over and we had dinner with her and my youngest, and it was nice. It was a nice dinner. It was peaceful. We talked, we laughed, we had a great time, and they left. And it's always tough for me when my daughter leaves after a weekend because I just love having her around. She's just a ball of energy, and she's so sweet and just a great cat. She's me. I just hope she doesn't have the same. I hope she handles her empathy better than I have. But after she left, I go into this slump because I'm just looking at the dinner we just had. I'm like, man, I miss this. I miss the relationship. I miss the closeness. I miss having my family. And it was a challenge because I'm like, still accepting that this is my life now. I'm not going to have this again, not in this way. And that's okay. But at the same time, it's hard. It's hard kind of remembering, oh, shit, it's not this way anymore. But it was a nice dinner. Like I said, great conversation, good laughs. And I'm glad that we can still do that for our daughters. That we can still be friends. That we can still be friends. One, for each other, to help each other out. Because we have some great conversations. But two, so that we can show our daughters that, you know what? If a relationship doesn't work out, people can still get along. There's still good in people. There's still, just because a relationship ends doesn't mean a friendship ends. Doesn't mean that people have to go their separate ways completely. That you can heal, you can be mature and adults, and you can work through it, and you can come out better on the other side together. I think that's super important. Super important to show people, our kids especially. Unfortunately for me, my parents, it didn't have a bad relationship, but at the same time, it wasn't a great relationship post-divorce. And that's a whole nother episode I need to unpack. My childhood and all the trauma and kind of how that's played into a lot of decisions and things that I've done in my life. But that's another episode. 3 episodes potential from this. What else? So we had that conversation and that, like I said, that was what happened the other week, a couple weeks ago. So fast forward to the conversation, and we're talking throughout stuff about our empathy and realizing how toxic our relationship had gotten and why it had gotten so toxic. I think that's the key, is understanding why. It's important, I think, to understand the why sometimes. When the time is right, let me stress that. These things, I think it's important for healing to talk through stuff like this with your ex when the time is right. And what I mean by that is when they've healed enough to talk about it and when you've healed enough to talk about it. You don't want to bring up past traumas and trigger negative reactions or emotions. You can very easily bring something up that might not be a big deal to you, but you bring it up and it's a big deal to the other person, and that'll cause them to revert. That'll cause them to hide, or cause, old patterns to be triggered, and it could do more harm than good. It could push them away even more. So I waited for her to kind of to be the one to bring up this subject, because she's been going to therapy and getting counseling and stuff, and she's grown a lot as a person through some of her life experiences over the past few months. And so it came up organically in conversation, so it was the right time to have the talk. And in this talk, there was a breakthrough. Jokingly, she mentioned how she started looking into her astrological signs and kind of laughing about it, because she's never been a mystical person. Like, religious, sure. Like, Christianity, all that, faith and stuff. But she's never been an astrological person. She, the whole thing, like crystals and chakras and stuff, like, it's never been a thing. And she was joking because she's been looking into this, and she's an Aquarius, and she's like, I'm an Aquarius to a T. Because at the end of the day, some of this astrology stuff, the way when you're born and the signs and all that, there is science behind it. There is psychology behind it. There's patterns. People are patterns. We're just patterns, and science and chemicals and stuff. So I kind of laughed because, I do the same thing. Like, I've been looking into the astrological signs as well, just to kind of get more insight onto just maybe understanding, the way I think and work, and how I process. And so this understanding that we had, this conversation we had, was just funny because, we were talking about me. I'm an Aries. I'm an Aries to a T. In the difference is, a lot of Aries tend to err on the side of anger and aggression. I did when I was younger. I was a very angry kid at times. I went through a phase. But there's another side of Aries where the thing is, it's not anger, it's intensity, right? So Aries, when they're into something, they're very intense. And it's oftentimes that intensity manifests itself in anger. But for me, it manifests itself in passion. And passion can very easily be confused for anger or frustration or just that aggressive emotion, because you're so intense, you're passionate. Like, I'm so passionate about this thing. I believe in this so much that I want to push, and I want to push, and I want to drive, and I want to get it done, and I want to achieve, and I want to help. And you get passionate, and you drive forward, and you want to inspire others, and you want them to share your passion. If they don't share your passion, why don't you share my passion? Get up off the floor. Let's go, guys. We can do this. Be excited about it. Come on. Are you motivated yet? That's how I am. So the breakthrough came today in that, this is a big deal. She said to me that she understands now that I'm one of those passionate people that when I get into something, whether it's trying to solve problems or fix the marriage or just something I'm excited about, that I'm passionate. And this is a big deal for me. This is a breakthrough for me. This feels like a weight has been lifted off of my chest, because for so many years in our marriage, I tried to explain to her that I'm not angry, I'm not upset, I'm not frustrated, or it's not an aggressive emotion, it's passion. That I'm just passionate about things, and she never understood it. And I think a big part of it was she just wasn't in a place to understand it. Because she had a lot to process and a lot to work through herself. But now that she's done that, she's been able to really see things from a different perspective, and see that what I was passionate, not angry. And this means so much to me, because like I said, I spent so many years of my life, of our marriage, trying to help her understand that I'm not angry. I'm just passionate. And so hearing her say that today freed me from a lot of things. It freed me from worry that she would misinterpret things as I say them. Now I look at it and I see, if I have a conversation with her, I know she's going to look at it not the initial thought of he's angry, but the initial thought now is going to be he's passionate. He just cares about this. So it frees me from that. It frees me from the issues I had worrying how she perceived me. Just the image that I projected. I guess just overall, it just frees me. It's just, she finally understands me. And what it took is, it took us separating. It took us getting divorced, being apart, and being two individuals and living our lives and going through our shit the way we needed to go through it. And to push ourselves apart so that nothing was left except for us. And we're just looking at ourselves, not each other anymore, just ourselves. Because sometimes you got to do that in a relationship. Sometimes you got to step back and you just got to focus on yourself and look at yourself and figure your own stuff out. It's important to do that. And I don't think we do that enough. We expect our spouse to fix us. Or we expect to be the ones to fix our spouse. I'm going to tell you right now, if you get into a relationship and you have issues to begin with, they're not going to get better. They're not going to get better. I don't care who you are. If you're not dealing with your issues individually, they're not going to get better together. And don't you ever get into a relationship thinking, oh, this person has this issue, but it's okay, I'll help them fix it. No, you won't. You're never going to help someone fix themselves, because unless that person wants to make a change, they're never going to get better. That's the thing. That's what happens with addictions, with anything. People don't magically get better until they want to get better, until they want to improve. So sometimes in a relationship, it takes separation. It takes breaking of that. Sometimes you gotta cut it open and separate it in order for it to get better. Sometimes if there's a cancer, there's a tumor, you've got to cut it out. If something's not working right, not growing right, you got to cut it out. And it doesn't mean that you're bad people. It doesn't mean that you've done anything wrong. We all make mistakes and we've all done things wrong in our marriage. But listen, if you're truly in love and you're truly working together, you're not going to screw things up so bad that you can't work through it. My ex and I made mistakes. We messed up and we worked through it many times. But at the end, we grew into two different people and had to go two different ways to get the healing we needed. I'm a better person today because she left, because we separated, because we're two individuals now living our lives. She is clearly a better person now that I'm not in her life in that capacity, because she's been able to focus on herself. She's been able to get the help she needs, and she doesn't have me there trying to fix her constantly. And she's not trying to fix me constantly. We're just fixing ourselves. And at the end of the day, that's what's important. Fix yourself. Work on yourself. You might be in a relationship right now and you need to have a serious talk with that person. And you might need to figure out, hey, we need to work on ourselves. And maybe you can work on yourselves together. Get counseling. Talk to friends. Get the help you need. But it also might mean you need to separate, because you need to take time just to focus on you. Healing sucks. It absolutely does. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Healing sucks. It's not easy. It's not easy, but at the end, it's worth it. There's so much pain in healing. I won't say there's hurt. It's not the type of hurt that you experience like when you've been like hurt by someone. But there's pain in the process, man. There's pain in the process, but there's also so much joy. There's joy in the process. There's positivity. There's hope. I've seen myself gradually get better over the past year. I've had my friends tell me, the other day, one of my best friends told me when we were driving somewhere together, he's like, dude, I just want to let you know, like, I'm proud of you, man. Just to see the change in you. And to see the person you've become and the person you're still becoming. And he's like, looking at the way you've processed and evolved from right when you separated, because he's been here for me the whole time. He's been my friend for 10 years now. But he was like, seeing how you were when you first got separated, you know, you were hurt, you were broken, you were damaged, you were down a lot. And seeing as you continued to grow and as you went on, those periods of hurt, those periods of depression are further and further between. They're further and fewer. And now it's very minimal that I have these moments, but I have them. I still have them. They don't go away. But when they do, I get over them quicker. I get through them. I work through them. I learn from them. I talk to people. I have people that I go to when I'm feeling this way. And I've got friends that see it and call me out on it, like, hey, man, you okay? You seem like you're a little off. And I am. And they know. And that's why it's so important to have relationships in that way. Have that community. Have those people. So, yeah. Yeah, I guess this podcast today is healing. I'm healing. I don't think we can ever say we're fully healed, because I think healing is a continual thing. It never ends. We're always growing and learning. And if you're not, then you're doing something wrong. We should always be learning. We should always be growing. But yeah, I'm healing. I'm healing. I've had some breakthroughs. I've had some great conversations. So thank you to my ex out there, for having the emotional maturity now to be able to talk to me and to have great civil conversations, healing conversations, helpful conversations, hard conversations, and just be real. Stop being fake, guys. Just be real. Nobody cares about your fakeness. People crave authenticity. So I've been healing, and healing feels good. It hurts. It sucks. But right now it feels really good. I've come a long way. And I had a huge breakthrough today. And just whatever you're going through out there. If you're struggling, if you're going through a breakup, you're going through a separation, whatever you're going through. Maybe you lost a job. I don't know what it is. It hurts. There's hope. You're going to get better. Surround yourself with people. There's people out there that care about you. I'm so tired of all these people out there that, and I understand because I've been in this position, but this woe is me attitude, like, oh man, nobody cares about me. That's bullshit. People care about you. Someone out there loves you. Someone cares about you. You're just too blind to see it. So maybe get over your own ego and look past yourself and look and see the people that actually care about you, because there are people out there. You know, I've got a Discord server right now. If you want to join, send me a message and you can join. We've got some mental health channels in there and stuff, but it's things like this where these people come in, and it started out as a gaming thing, and then people don't realize, oh my gosh, there's a community here of people that care about me beyond just what I do, just the gaming and just being a streamer. And people that we've helped, we've provided food for, we've taken under our wings and made our internet brothers and sisters and internet children. Because we love them. We love people. We crave community. We crave companionship. We crave love. So continue to be that beacon out there, to love people, to help others heal. And if you're healing, good job. Good job. You're healing. You're getting somewhere. Even a small step is still a step in the right direction. It's a step forward. So just keep crawling if you have to. And eventually you're going to get up, you're going to be able to stand, you're going to be able to walk, and you're eventually going to be able to run. And you're going to get to a point where you're going to help others. Your story is going to help others, because I'm telling you, you're not the only person going through what you're going through. There's billions of people out there. I guarantee you there's other people going through what you're going through right now, or they've gone through it, or they're going to go through it. So be that beacon, that lighthouse that they need. Guide them forward. Help them heal. Heal others through your healing. And I hope that's what this does for you guys. I'm healing, and I hope that my healing can help somebody out there. It can give someone hope. It can give someone direction. And again, I'm always here to talk. You know where to find me. I'm going to get more regular about these. I promise you. I miss doing this, and it feels so good to talk. So I'm glad to be back. I love you guys. Make sure you follow me on social media, Instagram, Facebook. I'm all over the place. You know, links are down below, but it's pretty much Insights into a Soul official everywhere. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and share the podcast. If it helped you, share it with someone else. And send me your letters. Let me know what's going on in your lives, and if this podcast has helped you, or maybe you've got a great story of healing, of how you've healed, of how you've helped someone heal, how someone's helped you heal. Send it in. Send them to me. insightsintoasoul@gmail.com, or you can drop me a line on Facebook or Instagram. So keep healing, guys. It's the holiday seasons, tough seasons. COVID sucks, but we're getting through it together, guys and gals. Thanks for tuning in. until next time, see you guys. Love you. Take care of each other. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Insights into a Soul. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure to like and subscribe and to share it with your friends. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Insights into a Soul, on Instagram @TornH, and if you have suggestions for future episodes or topics, or if you'd like to be on the podcast, contact us, insightsintoasoul@gmail.com.